Rivet athletes, happy Thursday. We are rocking an 18-minute AMRAP today. We have 4 stations, 2 of which are bike, right? And 2 of which are challenging movements, much more challenging movements. We have the bike in there to kind of buffer out our 2 heavy and or challenging movements. We have some deadlifts and we have some strict handstand push-ups. We're hoping we're going to pick variations and weights and everything that everybody can get around 4 rounds or so today. 3 plus, 4 plus rounds, somewhere in that range is what we're shooting for. So about a minute per station. The bike today, we have 12 for the fellas, 9 for the ladies, I should say. Hopefully that's a good number. Again, about a minute or so on the bike. We're not going to push it too hard on the bike. Actually, let me track that. Let me talk about strategy in the workout today. So we have the 2 tougher movements, right? The heavy deadlifts and the strict handstand push-ups, and the bike in between. A couple different strategy choices here is we can go a little bit easier on the bike, not slow, but a little bit easier on the pace on our bikes, with the goal in mind to be more aggressive on our sets of handstand push-ups and deadlifts, right? So easier on the bike and going relatively unbroken on our deadlifts and our handstand push-ups, or we can choose to go faster on the bike with the notion that we're going to break up our deadlifts and handstand push-ups a little bit more. So, player's choice there. You can think about that as you're warming up today, and like the goal again is to getting around 4 reps or so. Deadlift weight today. We want something that you minimum can at least do sets of 3 with at a time. I'd say that's kind of the sweet spot today. Turn that 9 into 3 sets of 3, you're good to go. Maybe it might be a 6 to 3, it might be unbroken. No singles today, of course. Probably, and this should be a weight that when you're fresh, like right here and now, you can pick that bar up and do an unbroken set of 10 or 12 without too much trouble. And then, of course, we have those strict handstand push-ups. If you are an athlete who really does have interest in doing handstand push-ups, you don't have any plans to compete in the future, don't worry about that. We have modifications for you. But going through the movement. So first off, let's talk about those handstand push-ups. Let's talk about the 3 points of contact. So we have, very important that when we're upside down on the wall, this requires balance, this requires strength to push ourselves up. We want to make sure when the head is actually in contact with the ground, we are making a tripod, right? The hands are out in front of the head. Look at me from this way, you can kind of see a little bit of a triangle there. We don't want the hands too close to the head because then we don't have that balance, we don't have good strength. And as far as hand width is concerned, we don't want to go too narrow. This makes it very difficult to balance and to press. We don't go super wide because this is bad for our shoulders. So we're going to experiment a little bit. Most people are kind of just outside the shoulders, somewhere in this general range. And again, hands in front of the head, right? So we're making those 3 points of contact. A good way to practice this, I should say, is a pike push-up. And for some of you out there who aren't quite there yet with the handstand push-ups, but you want something that's more challenging than a standard push-up, a pike push-up is a good modification. So check this out. So pike push-up, right? A lot of this is like a overhead barbell movement, right? The hands are in front of the face. We press up and we press up, head and chest through the arms at the top and bring them right back down again. This is kind of like the shoulders. So when we press handstand push-ups or overhead press for that matter, we're not going straight up and straight down, right? We're actually getting the shoulders kind of back and down like we do an air squat. With an air squat, we send the hips back and down. And when we're doing our handstand push-ups, the shoulders kind of do the same thing. They come back and down, right? Because we're pressing that chest through the arms in order to engage the upper back. Anyway, back to my pike push-up demonstration. Hands a little wider, shoulder width apart. Hips up in the air. Head is through the arms at the top, right through the window. I'm going to bring my forehead forward of my hands and then press my head right back through again, right? So the head is touching in front of the fingers, touch, and press back through again. Great way to practice that tripod position with 3 points of contact and a good modification for the handstand push-up if you're not quite there yet. Then also mention about our deadlifts today. 3 points of contact here. It's very important that we maintain a neutral spine on our deadlifts. We're looking for a nice straight line from the tailbone all the way up to the top of the head. Something we'll drill in class today is the PVC 3 points of contact, right? We should have the back of the head, the upper back, basically the back side of your booty, right here, right? So when we deadlift, we should maintain a nice neutral position as we deadlift, right? I'm maintaining contact with this PVC. If my head comes out of position, right, if I'm looking up, a lot of people tend to focus their eyes on the horizon. This throws their neck out of a neutral position, not good. And of course, the worst one is rounding of the lower back, right? If that PVC is there, we engage that low back too much, then we lose contact with the PVC. So we'll drill this in class today. We'll pretend when we're lifting that we have that PVC there, so we're maintaining a nice, strong, neutral spine as we do our deadlifting today. I think that's everything I have. 18-minute AMRAP. Like I said, looking for 4 rounds. Our CrossFitters today will be starting class by building up to a heavy single deadlift to prep us for the workout. We're doing every 5 sets, every 2 minutes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, building up for heavy single in the workout today. Our Fit 30 athletes, of course, you'll be deadlifting in the workout a heavy pair of kettlebells, set to 9. There we go. Oh, and my handstand push-up scalings today, you'll see. So if you're not quite there yet, we can do pike push-ups, or we can do dumbbell strict press, or we can do some hand release push-ups. Your choice. I got something for everybody. Come in, get it done. Why? It's Thursday. You're worth it. Your life is worth it. Your fitness is worth it. Come on. What else are you going to do?